Good morning, everyone. This is Tom Styles, and this is Tom's Real Room Show number 393. And I just did an update to tell you the status of my little radio here. The one drawback of this one little radio, it's a cute little radio and it does great for playing MP3s, but it doesn't have a shortwave. Yeah, no shortwave band. Well, this week I got in a new radio that does have MP3 player and shortwave. And here it is right here. Well, kind of, let me adjust the camera a little bit. And maybe I better adjust the lighting a little bit. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's a little bright, but kind of get the glare off of it there. Sorry for the glare, but there we go. The one problem as far as glare is concerned and fingerprints is this this plastic case is very shiny, and it shows prints, and it is very reflective. But other than that, no big deal there. I was really surprised when I got this radio. I had been looking at it for a couple of months because it's one of those radios that's in the $20 price range, and typically you don't get a good shortwave radio. It's just kind of a backup shortwave radio. You know, if you're stranded someplace and you forgot your good radio, this one will kind of work. You know, you go to a fishing cabin, or you're in a hotel or something, and you can just, tote this baby along with you, and if conditions are pretty good, you can get to strong shortwave stations. So anyway, let me just go around here. I'm not going to do a report card on this. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now it's AM, FM, shortwave, and it plays from full-size SD cards, slot right there, and from USB cards right there. So it has two sources of MP3 files. It also has a light which has 6 LEDs, which you would think would be pretty bright. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's it's not like something like this that has the Creel, I think it's called, element in it that puts out 300 lumens, but it's okay. Let's see, and this right here is the button to turn the light on and off. There's the light, and it's not fully charged. Now it does have multiple sources of power. It's got an AC cord that right now, when it came with the radio, it's stored inside this battery pack area. So once you put the batteries in, you can't store that AC cord in there anymore. So it has a built-in AC adapter. There's no wall wart. It plugs directly. And let me see if I can get this open easily. You know how this goes. There we go. So there's the battery compartment and the AC adapter. And it uses, pull this out, and it uses D-size batteries, 4 D-size batteries. And it has, I'll lay this down, and it has a built-in battery that you can, when you're on AC, will charge that built-in battery. Boy, I apologize for I didn't get the lighting right here. And here's the telescopic antenna for shortwave and FM. And then over here we have another power source. So if I was using a report card, this would get an A on power source. Another power source for an external adapter, like a cigarette lighter plug-in adapter, which it doesn't come with that, or a wall wart. And then down here it has the headphone jack. Trying to get the lighting right. And then there's two knobs. One is for volume and one is for tuning. And then we come back to the front. These four key buttons are for controlling the playback either off the SD card or the USB card. So you can play, pause, set it to repeat, reverse, go back to the previous track, go forward to the next track. So that's those buttons. Then down here on the bottom, gotta try to get the lighting right, is the on-off switch. You can either have it off, USB, meaning these two inputs for MP3s, or the radio. And if you choose the radio, you can choose from shortwave 1 band, shortwave 2 band, AM, and FM. So it has shortwave broken in into two bands. The shortwave 1 is 5.5 megahertz to 15 megahertz. Shortwave 2 is 15.1 to 23.2 megahertz. So that's basically all the functions. It feels pretty good. It's kind of hefty. Even though I don't have any batteries in it, it's pretty hefty. The handle feels pretty good. The lettering is fine. It's white on black, which is excellent. It's not gray. Doesn't have any S meter or anything like that. There's no meters per se. What else? The tuning, this is where it kind of falls short. It's smooth. The tuning is very smooth. I've had, $20 radios where tuning it will be real stiff and then it'll jump. The tuning on this is really smooth, but it's not very high resolution, so I call it, or very fine. And there's only one, there's no fast and slow tuning or anything like that. So if you're tuning any band, you gotta be really sensitive when you're turning that knob. Otherwise, you're going to go right past the station. And I did some tuning on the shortwave band, and I think it was in late afternoon when I got this radio. And of course, there wasn't a lot on, but there were some strong shortwave stations on. And it just, I just had to be kind of meticulous when I was turning that knob, so I didn't go past it. And of course, it has no bandwidth control. It has no tone control. Talk about $20 radio here. What else? Oh, the audio. The audio was very good. I was really amazed that the audio had lots of power for audio. I mean, I was trying to turn it up and see how loud it could get, and I got to about halfway, and it was so loud I had to stop. I couldn't go any higher. I mean, it pumps out the audio. So it's got plenty of audio, and with using the SD card or the MP3 player, it really, this one speaker, it's only got one speaker, so it's not stereo, really sounds good. You can use the earphone jack to get stereo. I tuned a few FM stations, and they came in loud and clear, and the quality of the audio was very good. So overall, $20. It's a pretty good radio. I think it's a pretty good radio. It definitely would not be your primary shortwave radio. The tuning is just too crude, meaning coarse, too coarse to tune shortwave if you're trying to get distant stations. Like here in the United States, there's a number of shortwave stations, most of them religious, which is no problem, and those come in fine and clear, and they're strong and clear, and since they're pretty wide band, they're pretty easy to tune. Now if you want to try to get China radio or Radio Australia, something like that, you're really going to struggle tuning it in. I think the radio is capable of receiving it, but the tuning is the problem, since it really is an analog tuner. It's totally an analog tuner. So no keypad or anything like that. So I think it's a pretty good buy for $20. I would be a little concerned about this plastic. This is the hard type plastic where if you drop this probably from 3 feet or something like that, it'd probably break into a million pieces. At least two major pieces. So that's the one drawback about the case. But in general, I kind of like the radio. I'm going to do some more experimenting with the SD card and the USB inputs and see how that sounds. I probably will do. I'll set up a. I don't right now have any music on that I can play on my show on a USB dongle, so I've got to go make up one. And my SD card that I have in this little guy is a micro SD card, so I would have to have either an adapter for the big size or use a big size SD card. So I don't have any music on either formats right now, other than commercial music, which I listened to when I first got this, and everything sounded fine. But I would like to illustrate the music quality of it to you. I was surprised because I don't think in the ad it mentions that it has a built-in battery pack. And I was surprised when it came because this switch here, which is for turning it on, was taped down. And I was like, I wonder why they're concerned about being taped down. So I thought, well, just turn it on. Well, I turned it on, and it played. So that's when I realized it had a built-in battery pack. So I'll also do some testing on that battery pack. I'll do a fully charge of it, and then discharge it, playing some music off of the one of the two card inputs. So that's the show for today. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Again, I keep looking out for these $20 radios, mainly because a lot of you want to know about these $20 radios. You can't afford a $75, $100 radio, but you could afford a $20 radio. And other people who have those more expensive radios are looking for something cheap just to knock around. If it gets damaged or stolen, it's not a great loss. That's the show for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.